Debbie Johnson, star of 90 Day, The Single Life, is pleading for prayers after being turned away at the Canadian border, leaving her in tears. Debbie Johnson was turned down at the border between the United States and Canada, which is putting her relationship with her boyfriend, Tony Starcevich, in jeopardy. The 90 Day Fiancé star was refused admission to Canada despite having visited the country several times, and she will have to return to Las Vegas until her paperwork is completed. Debbie is heartbroken and had anticipated grace because of her age, but she now needs to reapply in order to be with Tony in Canada. The relationship between 90 Day, The Single Life actress Debbie Johnson, and her boyfriend Tony Starcevich may be in jeopardy because Colt Johnson's mother has taken to social media to request prayers. When Colt brought his fiancée Larissa Lima from Brazil to the United States for their 6th season of 90 Day Fiancé, Debbie, a 70-year-old resident of Las Vegas, made her debut. While Debbie and Larissa never got along, Colt had an excessive amount of attachment to his mother. When the monster-in-law began hunting for love and met Tony, a Canadian, she decided to turn a new leaf. Colt and Debbie were estranged after Debbie made the decision to relocate to Canada against his desires. But given what Debbie recently disclosed on Instagram, her ambition of moving to Canada to start a new life with Tony may never come true. Debbie wrote on social media that she was turned down at the Canadian border and that she had really bad news. Although Debbie and Tony had already been sighted together multiple times in Canada, Debbie seemed to have received incorrect counsel when it came to formally establishing their relationship through permanent residency. Debbie wrote, "Until my permanent residency is filed, I have to return to Vegas." She said that if she hadn't received bad information, she would have submitted the paperwork earlier. Debbie said that she was in the process of obtaining all the necessary paperwork and information in order to submit an application for permanent residence in Canada, even as she pleaded for prayers please. Debbie had visited the nation numerous times already, but each time she was informed, "No siant quito many in." Debbie thought it was ironic that despite their desire to spend their remaining years together, two old people who fell in love in their early 70s were unable to be together. Debbie assumed that because of her age, the officials would treat her more kindly. When they told her that she couldn't return until her papers was filed, she was upset. Debbie was aware that the law should be obeyed, but considering her advanced age and desire to be with her true love again, it appeared that she wanted to be an exception to the rule. Debbie sobbed as she described having only the clothes on her back and having to part from the man she loved. Debbie feels resentful that she was just given permission to come in, even though she knows they ought to have filed the papers carefully.